Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to generate and sync WordPress blogs with Google Blogger using Google Generative AI. So I am an owner of a business and I want to generate content related to my business, and I want to post that content on my Google Blogger account as well as on my WordPress account. But if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software which requires no programming and coding skills in order to create an automation. So with the help of this automation, what is going to happen, that as soon as I'm going to enter the title of the blog in my Google Sheets, automatically according to the title, the content is going to be generated using Google Gemini. And as the content is going to be generated, automatically first it is going to be posted on my WordPress account, and then a blog is going to be created and posted on my Google Blogger account as well. It is going to help me to create more customer engagement for my business. So I'm going to create this amazing automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to generate and sync WordPress blogs with Google Blogger using Google Generative AI. So I'm a fashion blogger who regularly posts articles on my WordPress site about the latest trends, style tips, and fashion news. I also have a Google Blogger account where I share similar content to reach a different segment of my audience. Instead of manually copying and pasting each post from WordPress to Blogger, I can set up an integration that uses Google Generative AI to automatically sync my content. As a result, as I'm going to enter the title in my Google Sheets, automatically with the help of title, Google Gemini is going to generate the content, and as the content is going to be generated, it is automatically going to be posted on my WordPress account as well as on my Google Blogger account. And for that, what we are going to do is we're going to simply create an automation between these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Generate and Sync WordPress blogs with Google Blogger using Google Generative AI, that is Google Gemini. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click right over here. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select automations for content generation as the folder I want to create this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, we are going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Generate and Sync WordPress blogs with Google Blogger using Google Generative AI, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, we need to set up our trigger step. For that, click on this arrow, and for the trigger application, I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm going to select my trigger application over here as Google Sheets, because in my Google Sheets, I want to create a record with titles for which I want to generate the content for and post it on my WordPress as well as Blogger account. With the titles, I'm also going to enter the main keywords of the content that is going to be generated. And I want that as soon as I'm going to enter the title in the spreadsheet right over here, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. So that is why for the trigger application, I've selected it as Google Sheets. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New or Updated Spreadsheet Row. So whenever we're going to enter the title and the keyword in the spreadsheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. Now after selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, you can connect Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect, as this URL works as a bridge between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, so that whenever we're going to enter the data in the spreadsheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. To connect Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect with the help of the URL, you have to follow the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, you need to open a spreadsheet that you have created. So this is a spreadsheet that I've created in the name of blog titles and keywords, and I want to connect this spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect. And for doing that, you can see there are multiple options given to us, from which you have to click on this extensions button. As we're going to do that, over here now it says add-ons. We're going to select it, and under add-ons it says get add-ons. We're going to click on it. After that, over here a new window is then going to appear, on which on the search bar you have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. So we're going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. You can see over here Pabbly Connect webhooks is going to appear. We're going to open this. You can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm going to move forward. But if you haven't installed Pabbly Connect webhooks, please do install it so you can connect Pabbly Connect in this spreadsheet right over here. So as I've installed the application, I'm going to refresh this page. As I've refreshed the page, now what we have to do is we have to go back to extensions again. As you're going to install the application, you can see over here it says Pabbly Connect webhooks. We're going to click on it. As you're going to do that, from the options, you have to click on this initial setup button. After that, you can see a dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And then for the trigger column, what I'm going to do is, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which of the data is added. So you can see that in the spreadsheet right away, I've created two columns, column A and column B. And over here in the column B is the final column, because in this column, I'm going to enter my final data. So what I'm going to do is, for the trigger column, over here, I'm going to write it as column B. Okay. After pasting the webhook URL and selecting the trigger column, I'm going to click on the submit button. As I'm going to do that, it says setup configured successfully. I'm going to go back, okay? After doing that, the steps that I'm going to tell you right now are very important. So please do not forget to follow them, okay? Click on extensions again, and again on Pabbly Connect webhooks. You can see under the options, it says send on event. We're going to click on it. Over here, as it is saying working. As the loading is completed, we have to click on extensions again and Pabbly Connect webhooks. You can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. It is very important to click on send on event, because whenever a new data is going to be captured by the spreadsheet right over here, it is going to send that data to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event, okay? So now after successfully setting up the webhook in the spreadsheet right over here, I'm going to go back to my workflow, and over in the workflow it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to enter the title as well as the keywords in the spreadsheet right away, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the title and the keywords or not. For that, we would enter the title and the keywords right over here, for which I want to generate the content with the help of Google Gemini to post it on my WordPress and Blogger account. So as you can see that this is the title and the keywords that I want to generate the content for. For the title as the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today. So this is the title for which I want to generate the content for. And for the keywords is right over here that I want to generate the content according to these keywords right over here. So as I've entered the keywords and the title in the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is connected to Pabbly Connect, I'm going to open my workflow. I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see over here in the spreadsheet, we have received the response. So now let us tally the response. Over here in the response, we have received the title. For the title, what we have received, the title that we have entered in our spreadsheet, the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today. After that, we have received the keywords as well. You can see in the response, this is the keywords that we have entered in our spreadsheet, okay? So as we have received the response right over here, this means that Google Sheets is now successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So now whenever I'm going to enter any title and the keywords in the spreadsheet, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the title and the keywords, okay? After setting up our trigger step, now what we have to do is, as we have now received the title and the keywords, we need to generate the content of that title with the help of the keywords with the help of Google Gemini. So we are going to set up our action step. And for the action application, we are going to select it as Google Generative AI. Google Generative AI is Google Gemini, okay? And for the action event, I'm going to select it as Generate Content, as now we have to generate the content for the title and the keywords that we have entered in our spreadsheet. I'm going to click on Connect to connect Google Generative AI and Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear, on which you have to click on Add New Connection. After that, over here it is asking for the API key. With the help of the API key, we can connect Google Generative AI with Pabbly Connect. To have the access of the API key, for that click on this hyperlink Google AI Studio right over here. As we're going to do that, Google AI Studio main page is going to then appear in front of you, and over here it says Get API Key. We're going to click on this button. As we're going to do that, you can see over here the API's key page is then going to appear, and over here it says Create API Key. We're going to click on it. After click on it, you can see it is asking for us to select a project. So I'm going to select a project from here, and then I'm going to click on Create API Key. As I'm going to do that, you can see it says API key generated. I'm going to copy this key from here and I'm going to paste it in my Pabbly Connect account, and then I'm going to click on this save button. As I've done that, you can see Google Generative AI, that is Google Gemini, is now successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting, it is asking for the text. The text is the prompt for which Google Generative AI is going to generate the content for. So for the text over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as. You can see this is the text that I've written for which I want to generate the content for. This is the prompt. It says, I am a fashion blogger who regularly posts articles on your WordPress site about the latest trends, style tips, and fashion news. I want to generate a blog with HTML tag on title. For the title is right over here, and for the keywords to post it on my Google Blogger account as well as WordPress account in long paragraph. So this is the prompt that I want to generate the content for. And over in the prompt, you can see I've written the title and the keywords right over here. For the title and the keywords, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we are going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as you're going to click on this field right over here, you can see this was the previous step of this workflow right away. That is Google Sheets new or updated spreadsheet row. And as I'm going to click on it, you can see this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. So firstly, I'm going to remove this existing title right over here. And you can see in the response, we have received the title right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the data of this title from my previous response. As I selected the data is mapped, and as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data in place of this map data is going to be updated. Next, it is asking for the keywords. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data for the keywords right over here, okay? So I've mapped the data. So this is the prompt for which I want to generate the content for. After entering the prompt for which I want to generate the content for, it is asking for us to select the models. For the models over here, I'm going to select as model/Gemini Pro, okay? And for the methods, I'm going to select as generate content, as I want to generate the content for this prompt right over here. After filling all the details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I've clicked on the save and send test request button, over here you can see we have received the response. In the response, you can see Google Generative AI has generated the content for the title that we have entered in our Google Sheets, that is the evolution of fashion from the 1920s to today, okay? So this is the content that is generated using Google Generative AI, and you can see that in the prompt I've written it as with HTML tag. So the content over here is also generated with the HTML tags as per my requirement. As in Google Blogger, we require to enter the content with the help of HTML tags. So that is why over here in the prompt I've written it as with HTML tag, okay? So as now the content is successfully generated using Google Gemini, now we want to post this content on our WordPress as well as Blogger account. So what we are going to do is we're going to add another action step in this workflow, and for the action application we are going to select it as WordPress. So I'm going to select the action application as WordPress, and for the action event I'm going to select as create a post, and then we're going to click on connect to connect WordPress to Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear on which you have to click on add new connection. As then you're going to click on add new connection, it is asking for your WordPress username, password and the base URL. So for the username password, you need to enter the password and the username of your account, and for the base URL, you can see right over here it says in the help desk how we need to enter the base URL. So I'm going to enter the base URL right over here. After filling all the required details, I'm going to click on the save button. As you can see that WordPress is now successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting, it is asking for the post type. For the post type over here, I'm going to select it as post, okay? Next, it is asking for the post title. So for the post title, I'm going to map the data of the title that we have received in our previous step. So I map the data of the title. Next, it is asking for the post content. For the content, I'm going to map the data of the content that was generated using Google Generative AI, okay? So I've mapped the data of the post title and the content. Next, it is asking for all the other details. I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the status. The status of the post that is going to be created in our WordPress account. For the status over here, I'm going to select it as draft. as I'm going to generate the content using Google Generative AI, before publishing the content on my WordPress site, I want to first review the vlog. For that, I've selected the status over here as draft, but if you want, you can directly publish this post also on your WordPress account. So I'm going to select the status over here as draft, okay? After stated, it is asking for the other details. I'm going to skip the part. Next, it is asking for the featured media ID. I don't need the featured media ID, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the data. And how it is going to happen, turn on this map bracket, and after turning on, you can see the data is going to appear. You need to erase the existing data from here, okay? After that, it is asking for the format. For the format, I'm going to select it as standard, okay? Next, it is asking for the ping status. I'm going to select it as open, comment status as open as well. For the author ID, you need to select the author ID from your WordPress account. And after that, it is asking for the sticky. I'm going to select it as false. It is asking for the password, date and the date GMT. I don't require the field, so I'm going to skip the part, okay? After filling all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As you can see over here, we've received the response, and the response that we have received is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my WordPress account and I'm going to check whether a new post has been created in my WordPress account or not. For that, I'm going to open my WordPress account. So this is the post page of my WordPress account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I refresh the page, after that, you can see over here a new post has been added in my WordPress account. I'm going to click on this edit button. After clicking on the edit button, you can see over here the post in the title of the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today is there. This is the preview link right away. I'm going to open this link in a new tab. And you can see right away a blog in the title of the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today has been created in my WordPress account. And this is the content that was generated using Google Gemini is now been created as a post on my WordPress account. So this means that we successfully generated and created a post on our WordPress account. But now also I want to share the same blog on my Blogger account. For that, I'm going to add another action step in this workflow right over here. And for the action application, over here I'm going to select it as Google Blogger, okay? And for the action event, I'm going to select it as create a post, as we want to also create a post on our Google Blogger account as well. And then I'm going to click on connect to connect Google Blogger to Pabbly Connect. A new window is going to appear, on which click on add new connection. But if you want, you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google. As we could do that, you can see right over here, a new window is going to appear, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on continue, as the save process and my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this continue button. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Blogger with Pabbly Connect. So over here in my Blogger account, I have created multiple blog IDs, that is Connect, My Blog and Pabbly. And I want to post blog on my ID, that is My Blog right over here. So in my workflow, firstly it is asking for the blog ID. So out of the IDs that you have created, you need to select the specific ID in which you want to create a post in, okay? After selecting the blog ID, it is asking for the title of the blog. So for the title of the blog, I'm going to map the data of the title of my blog, okay? For the content, we're going to map the data of the content that was generated using Google Generative AI. I'm going to map the data. For the status also, I'm going to select it as draft over here as well, okay? But if you want, you can select it as scheduled or live as well according to your requirement. After that, it is asking for the is draft. I'm going to select it as yes, because over here for the status, I selected it as draft, okay? It is asking for the date to be published. Over here, you can map the date of the date to be published. If you want to publish this date directly, you can map the data over in a UTC time zone format according to your requirements. After that, it is asking for all the other details which I don't require, so I'm going to skip the part. After filling in all the details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, you can see right over here, we have received the response, and the response that we have received is positive response, because for the status over here it says draft. So this means that a post might have been created in our Blogger account. So I'm going to open my Blogger account. So this is the post page of my Blogger account. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, you can see right over here a new blog has been created, the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today. I'm going to click on this blog right over here, and you can see that with the title, the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today, the content that was generated using Google Gemini is now been there in this blog right away. I'm going to preview this blog by clicking on this button. And you can see right over here, blog is now been created with the title, the evolution of fashion from 1920s to today, with the content that was generated using Google Gemini. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Google Sheets, Google Gemini, WordPress and Blogger with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done. I am a fashion blogger who regularly posts articles on my WordPress site about the latest trends, sites and fashion news. And generating the blogs manually is taking me a lot of time, and sharing them on my WordPress as well as Google Blogger account individually also takes a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation between Google Sheets, Google Generative AI, that is Google Gemini, WordPress and Google Blogger with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now whenever I'm going to enter any title of the blog in my Google Sheets, automatically with the help of the title, the content is going to be generated using Google Generative AI, and then the content is automatically shared as a post on my WordPress as well as Google Blogger account. So this is how you create this amazing automation between all of these applications. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.